Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Thursday. It is February 4th. I just wanted to, again, I know that I did in the video yesterday, but it was kind of hidden in with a lot of other stuff. I want to run through that Feed the Dingo game, okay? This game is it's actually kind of fun, but it is time consuming and it does have a decent amount of work with it. So, I just kind of want to go through and show you what I expect. So if I was trying to get to that assignment, just clicking into 7th period, just for example, come up to assignments. And then we'll find the Feed the Dingo online game. Mine will look a little bit different, so this is what you guys will see. Okay, so just opening up that link. See if it's going to load. There it goes. And then I'd come back in here and open this up. Alright, and if you scroll through here, you're going to see like it's long. There's 21 little questions, but they're super duper repetitive, and it's not like I'm asking you to, solve some calculus equation. You're just writing exactly what you do in the game. Okay, so just for me to read through the instructions, it says your challenge is to create a functioning ecosystem where the species all survive for 12 days. Obviously, it would be longer than that, but like it's just a simulation, right? So this can be very challenging. Having too many of one species can cause other species to be wiped out entirely. Think about our school. If we had twice as many birds, the things they eat would quickly disappear. They would also have less housing, right? There'd also be less mates, right? So there's less all of these resources for these things. So this would cause the remaining birds to lose their food sources and have to move away or die off, right? So either the new birds or the old birds, some combination, a lot of them are going to have to move or die. So be sure to listen to the introduction to see how to play. You will be putting 5 species into the environment each day. Click the bubble above the species to learn more about it before adding to your ecosystem. You can add multiple of the same species on the same day, so pay attention. Okay? And I should also tell you that you get points by your species surviving as well as having some diversity, right? So like I could just load it up with trees and yeah, it would probably survive, but there's not a lot of diversity there. So all I did was I clicked play. That's going to open a new window for you. And then for you all, I'd like you to listen to the introduction. Okay, you don't need to log in, you just click play. I'm going to skip through the intro because I know how to play. I'll let her finish talking. Okay, so main idea, you can move around and look at different parts of your ecosystem. It's not huge, it just gives you some space to move things. Okay, a lot of people were just throwing things up there and having not great results. I suggest you click this bubble. Okay, it tells you what it is, and then if it eats something, it'll tell you what it eats, right? So there you go. You see that these ants, they're going to eat the tree, the grass, and they're also going to eat these desert pea, okay? Some termites, they're eating plants. The honey eater eats these, okay? So if you look through, you can add whatever you want. So I could add a bunch of these eagles, right? But if I just put a bunch of eagles, I don't have anything for them to eat, okay? And if I put the things that they eat right now, I still don't have anything that they eat. So it's kind of best to start your ecosystem from the ground up, okay? And this makes sense because predators eat more of small prey, right? Like especially us as a human. We eat a lot of food, right? And it comes from all different food sources. Or like a deer, it's eating a lot of grass. Or she wants me to start playing. Or like a lion, right? Eating a couple zebras, that's a big impact on the zebra population. Whereas the smaller animals are eating less, but they're still eating more of the lower than they are. So like, let me show a picture before we get too crazy. Okay, so looking at like sort of a pyramid like this, right? We have way more plants than there are the things that eat the plants, right? Because the things that eat the plants have to eat a lot of plants, right? And then there are more of these things that eat the plants than there are of the things that'll eat them, right? And then by the time we get up to the top, like a wolf, there are less wolves than there are deer because a wolf is going to be eating multiple deer, right? And so if there were just a bunch of wolves, there wouldn't be any deer. So nature's kind of had itself balanced out when it's found its carrying capacity, right? That's what we were learning about earlier this week, okay? So I'm going to start by putting a bunch of grass, some peas, a tree, and another tree, okay? So I put all those things in. So I would need to come to the assignment, and I suggest you do a split screen. And you don't have to. Ooh, the game might not like split screen. Let's see if the game will. Oh, it's not going to let me do it because I have two monitors. Oh well. So if you guys could do split screen, that's awesome. If not, you're just going to have to go back and forth to make sure that you are putting what you're putting in your ecosystem. So like question 1 says, what 5 species did you put into your ecosystem on the first day? Well, I would have said the 5 plants, right? You can list them individually as well because eventually you're going to have to start putting things individually. But right now we could say the 5 plants, right? And then did they all survive? Yes, they all survived. It says they are all healthy. If any species died, why do you think they didn't survive? I could skip that. What species did you add on day 2? All right, next day. And it says day 2 up here. All right, well at this point, I'm going to start adding some little critters, okay? So the ants are going to eat those plants, so I can put an ant. The termites are eating some plants, so I can put that. The spiny-cheeked honey eater are eating some of those, so I can put that out there. Thorny devil's going to be eating some ants. So I'm going to put more ants, right? Because the ants there should be more of than there are the predator that hunts those ants. Ooh, so there we go. Even though I had 2 ants, that guy still ate them all up. Okay? So now coming up here, I would list those 5 species that I had added. And then did you add any species you had added before? No, not yet. Then did all of your species survive? No, I lost my ants. And so then going into day 3. All right. Ooh, these guys are not very healthy, right? Because they're out of ants. These ones are healthy. Great, we're moving on. So I'm going to add some more ants, right? That would be my next step. But I'm going to leave you guys here because we're basically halfway through at this point. All right? And I want you guys to keep track of what you're adding, what's dying off, and you're just going to kind of keep notes in here. And then your goal is to keep your ecosystem healthy, and you want to keep it diverse as well. So just keep in mind there needs to be more plants than there are things that eat the plants. And then there needs to be more of those things than the things that are going to eat them. Right? So as we move up that food pyramid, there are less predators than there are prey. Because if there were more predators, there wouldn't be any prey left. All right, so that was just a quick snapshot. People were kind of struggling with that. But make sure as you play, you have the questions open. You're never going to be able to go back through. And then in my first try, I got a 980. So try to beat that. That's your goal. All right, dudes. Peace out. Have a good day.